Hello
Extra
MotoGP
pressure,
fans,
is
welcome back to
of course,
ZNGP Today. Jorge Martin's absence from the upcoming Buriram MotoGP test has left Aprilia facing a major challenge in its 2025 preseason preparations. The reigning world champion, sidelined by injury after a crash in Sepang, will miss crucial testing time on his new RSGP machine. Teammate Marco Bezzecchi admits the situation impacts the entire team, but insists they must push forward with development. The 2025 MotoGP season is shaping up to be one of the most intense in recent history, with Pecco Bagnaia and Márquez set to battle as teammates at Ducati. Legendary rider Giacomo Agostini has shared his thoughts on what to expect, highlighting key takeaways from the Sepang tests and predicting that Márquez's hunger could be the deciding factor in the title fight. As the MotoGP paddock heads to Buriram for the final preseason test, Franco Morbidelli reflects on his progress and the challenges ahead. The VR46 Ducati rider believes the work done in Sepang has set a strong foundation but highlights the need to keep improving, especially with Márquez already showing impressive speed. With a new leadership team and an ambitious plan for the future, Yamaha is working tirelessly to regain its place at the top of MotoGP. Paolo Pavizio, in his first preseason as the head of Yamaha's racing division, outlines the brand's transformation and its goal of becoming a title contender once again. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Jorge Martin's transition to Aprilia has hit an unexpected roadblock after a heavy crash early in the Sepang test left him with multiple fractures. Following surgery in Spain, Martin has been ruled out of this week's test in Thailand, meaning his first race with Aprilia will come with just 90 laps of experience on the RSGP. The incident has also sparked tension between Aprilia and Michelin. While Martin's camp suggests a possible tire issue contributed to the crash, Michelin's data reportedly shows no signs of failure. Despite this, Aprilia remains unconvinced, further complicating the situation. Marco Bezzecchi, now Aprilia's lead rider for Buriram testing, acknowledges that Martin's absence is a setback but remains determined to make the most of the available track time. Not having Jorge for sure affects everyone in the team, also me. But this is what we have, so I have to do my job and don't complain. Quote from Bezzechi. Bezzechi will focus on electronics adjustments, refining his riding style, and testing remaining development parts that were originally planned for Sepang. While he would have preferred more time on the RSGP before the season opener, he believes excessive testing can sometimes be counterproductive. It's important, but sometimes when you test too much, it's difficult to not get in trouble with everything. At the end, when you find a base and try all the items you need to try in testing, it's enough. Then it's better to race. With Martin out, Aprilia test rider Lorenzo Savadori has been called upon to help fine-tune the RSGP and ensure the reigning champion has a solid foundation when he returns. Savadori's focus will be on broader development work rather than fine-tuning setup, with key tests planned for aerodynamics and electronics. Aprilia hopes his input will allow Martin to be competitive immediately upon his return. I'm here to work for Jorge, to try with the team to arrive at a good base for him when he comes here for the race. Our goal here is to make a good base to start the work for Jorge. With Jorge Martin sidelined for Buriram, Aprilia faces a crucial test without its top rider. While Bezzechi and Savadori work to keep development on track, Martin's limited time on the RSGP before his race debut raises concerns. Can the world champion adapt quickly when the lights go out in Thailand? The opening round will provide the first real answers. The recent official test at Sepang provided early indicators for the season ahead, with Ducati once again showing its dominance. Surprisingly, the GP24 outperformed the GP25 in the standings, something Agostini wasn't shocked by. Yamaha also showed promise, helped by additional track time during the shakedown test. Fabio Quartararo's performance gives hope to the Japanese manufacturer. It's an excellent bike. Borgo Panigale always has something up its sleeve to maintain superiority, but even with the new GP25, they're still searching for more. Yamaha is expected to fight at the top with a fast champion like Quartararo. The new M1 looks promising, but data only counts to a certain extent. Quote from Giacomo Agostini. Honda, meanwhile, continues its efforts to climb back to the front, bringing in Italian engineer Romano Albiziano as a technical director, an unexpected yet significant move. KTM faces financial concerns, but Agostini believes Red Bull's backing will ensure stability. The biggest talking point, however, is the rivalry between Márquez and Pecco Bagnaia in the factory Ducati team. Agostini sees them as each other's biggest threats and does not expect them to get along. The Italian legend compared their situation to past rivalries, including his own battles with Mike Hailwood and the heated Rossi vs Lorenzo era at Yamaha. They are each other's first rivals. They will never be friends. Ducati must ensure they have equal equipment and updates, but once on track, they will only focus on beating each other, not on what the team tells them. When Hailwood left for Honda, it was similar to Bagnaia's position at Ducati. And at Yamaha, the wall between Rossi and Lorenzo was perhaps excessive. The fight for supremacy within Ducati could define the season, and neither rider will want to be the one playing second fiddle. Despite being new to the factory Ducati squad, Márquez has already impressed with how quickly he has adapted to the bike. Agostini isn't surprised, citing his own experience and the rapid rise of MotoGP rookie Pedro Acosta, whom he calls the new Márquez. While both riders will be under pressure, the stakes are higher for Márquez. Both will feel the pressure, but Marc left Honda, giving up a lot of money, and last year accepted a private team to fight his way back to the top. I am sure he is hungrier than Bagnaia, and maybe that could make a difference. With Márquez determined to reclaim his status as MotoGP's top rider and Bagnaia fighting to defend his title, the stage is set for an epic showdown. As the 2025 season approaches, all eyes will be on the Bagnaia vs Márquez battle in the Ducati garage. Will Márquez's hunger be the deciding factor, or will Bagnaia's consistency give him the upper hand? One thing is certain, this rivalry is about to ignite one of the most thrilling seasons in MotoGP history. With just 2 days of testing left before the 2025 MotoGP season kicks off, Franco Morbidelli is focused on fine-tuning his setup at Buriram. After a productive 3-day test in Sepang, the Italian knows time is limited but remains confident in his team's progress. These tests will be very important because they will prepare us for the first race. We don't have much time to try things out, but we are doing important work with a new group of people. Quote from Morbidelli. Morbidelli acknowledges the dominance of Ducati in Sepang, where multiple Desmosedici riders finished inside the top 5. He sees this as both a positive and a challenge, knowing the competition within the Ducati ranks will be fierce. After a tough 2024 season, Morbidelli is eager to prove himself aboard the VR46 Ducati. He recalls how his transition to the bike was difficult at first but believes he has now found his rhythm. I felt good from the start on the bike, despite coming back from a bad injury. It took until Mugello for me to feel truly competitive. Now, with the new season approaching, Morbidelli is confident he can fight near the front. He believes that if the race had been held right after Sepang, he could have been among the best. However, he remains cautious, knowing how quickly things can change in MotoGP. One of the biggest talking points from the Sepang test was Marc Márquez's impressive pace in the sprint race simulation. Morbidelli was among those who took notice, acknowledging the 8-time world champion's speed. The sprint simulation was impressive, he was very fast. I think the sprint was what he did best in practice. With Márquez quickly adapting to the Ducati, Morbidelli knows the competition will be intense. However, he remains focused on his own progress, determined to extract the maximum from his VR46 machine. As Morbidelli prepares for the final preseason test in Buriram, he remains optimistic about his form heading into 2025. With Ducati riders showing strong pace and Márquez already delivering standout performances, the opening round promises to be fiercely competitive. Can Morbidelli position himself among the frontrunners when the lights go out in Thailand? The departure of Lynn Jarvis at the end of 2024 marked the beginning of a new chapter for Yamaha, with Paolo Pavizio stepping in to lead the factory's MotoGP efforts. Having spent over 2 decades with Yamaha, Pavizio has been instrumental in reshaping the team's strategy, including strengthening ties with European partners like Pramac Racing. When I accepted this position, I already knew that Yamaha wanted to take MotoGP to the next level. What attracted me most was the desire to unite people from diverse cultures, Europe, Japan, Italy, to make all the pieces fit together. Pavizio's appointment signals a shift in Yamaha's approach, focusing not only on engineering but also on streamlining operations and fostering collaboration across different regions. Yamaha has shown signs of improvement during preseason testing, with Fabio Quartararo finishing third in Sepang and shaving 0.8 off his previous Q2 lap time. However, Pavizio remains cautious, emphasizing that progress takes time. Despite the encouraging test results, Pavizio dismisses any premature title ambitions. We are aiming to reduce the gap between us and the riders at the top. You can see that on the stopwatch, but the others are not standing still. The key is to close that gap as quickly as possible. Will we win the title in 2025? Definitely not. It would be stupid to say that. If you set an unattainable goal, you create frustration later. Quote from Pavizio. Instead, Yamaha's target is clear, consistently fighting for top 5 finishes by mid-season and overtaking Aprilia and KTM in the process. One of Yamaha's boldest moves this season has been securing Pramac as its satellite team, a partnership that Pavizio believes will be crucial in accelerating development. He credits Takehiro Sumi, the head of Yamaha's MotoGP project, for driving this shift in mentality. Sumi is the great driving force behind this change. And working with Pramac has been easy. They've made everything smooth. With testing set to conclude in Buriram, Yamaha will get another crucial data set before the season opener. While podiums may still be a stretch, the factory's long-term vision remains clear: steady progress, strategic partnerships, and a return to the front of the MotoGP grid. As Yamaha continues its MotoGP transformation under Paolo Pavizio's leadership, the focus remains on realistic targets and gradual improvements. With a renewed mindset and a strengthened technical structure, can Yamaha's efforts pay off in 2025? The journey to the top is just beginning. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.